Sunk in at all that you are a world champion?
Yeah. Well, like I always feel like I was a champion anyway. So like, see my fight got moved. I was irritated. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to like hurt people or something. You know, man. And my coaches they telling me to stop hurting my training partners and things like that. You know.
မင်္ဂလာပါအခုတလုံးမှာကျွန်တော်တို့မြန်မာတွေဂုံယူရတဲ့ဖြစ်ရလေးတစ်ခုရှိပါတယ်အဲ့ဒါကတော့လူတိုင်းသိတဲ့ George Foreman MMA ပွဲနိုင်တဲ့အကြောင်းပါလူတော်တော်များများက George Foreman ရဲ့ဒီနိုင်ပွဲအကြောင်းကိုဂုံယူစွာနဲ့ပြောမဆုံးဖြစ်နေကြပါတယ်ဒါကြောင့်ကျွန်တော်က MMA ပွဲပြီး George Foreman ရဲ့ interview ကိုဘာသာပြန်တင်ဆက်ပေးလိုက်ပါတယ်အဆုံးထိကြည့်ရှုပေးပါအောင်ခင်ဗျာမင်္ဂလာပါအခုတလုံးမှာကျွန်တော်တို့မြန်မာတွေဂုံယူရတဲ့ဖြစ်ရလေးတစ်ခုရှိပါတယ်အဲ့ဒါကတော့လူတိုင်းသိတဲ့ George Foreman MMA ပွဲနိုင်တဲ့အကြောင်းပါလူတော်တော်များများက George Foreman ရဲ့ဒီနိုင်ပွဲအကြောင်းကိုဂုံယူစွာနဲ့ပြောမဆုံးဖြစ်နေကြပါတယ်ဒါကြောင့်ကျွန်တော်က MMA ပွဲပြီး George Foreman ရဲ့ interview ကိုဘာသာပြန်တင်ဆက်ပေးလိုက်ပါတယ်အဆုံးထိကြည့်ရှုပေးပါအောင်ခင်ဗျာ
Well, Joshua Van and still, no doubt about it this time. First title defense, I mean, what a fight. How are you feeling? What are your thoughts on the fight and how it played out tonight?
I feel great. I think I have proved that I am a world champion, you know. And my thought on Tesuro, man, shout out to that guy, you know, nothing but respect to him. He's a tough motherfucker.
It took a little bit, I think, for you to maybe find the groove throughout the fight. After that first round, you kind of started to fight it more. What did your corner tell you about maybe some adjustments or things that they were seeing on their end?
The whole time, man, they want me to stay calm in the fight, you know. Especially this fight camp, you know, like I have to push back a little bit. So now I'm like very eager to finish the fight and things like that. Even in training camp, you know, my sparring partner and things like that, that's all they told me, like stay calm, you know, you find your timing and things like that. So that's all you see.
The boxing was so crisp, so clean. I mean, did you know that would kind of be the bread and butter for you and the way to lead you to victory?
Yes. You know, Tesuro, man, I know that he's a good grappler, but you know, this is MMA fight. You know, this is not a jiu-jitsu match and nothing like that. So you know, I know my striking would stand out. And that's what you see tonight.
You mentioned the grappling, obviously something you knew about Tatsuro heading into this one. Was there anything that you guys or anyone you brought in specifically to kind of help emulate him or mirror what he would bring tonight?
Nah, like I said, I always trusted my teammate, trusted my coaches. You know, like I said, it's, you know, Saturday at 4 Ounce we have an open gym, so anybody can come spar us and things like that. So that's how we learn what we know. So, you know what I mean. And like I said, my ground. I wouldn't say it was too bad, right? Yeah, like at one point in time I was going to choke him out, so you know what I'm saying? So I think my ground is up there too.
Definitely, you showcased it a little bit tonight. This fight was really unique because it was our first fight of two fighters that were born in the 2000s, this kind of new generation of MMA. For you to still have that belt and also put on the fight that you did against someone like Tatsuro, what does it mean?
It means everything. Like I said, this is great for the Asian community. You know, this is the first time two Asian male fight for a title. So, and the first born 2000 fight for a title. So, you know, this is history.
You were saying heading into this one that it took a little bit for you to kind of start to feel like that champion. You know, you have kids from your home country looking up to you, asking you questions now. Has it sunk in at all that you are a world champion?
Yeah. Well, like I always feel like I was a champion anyway. So, you know, like kid, and now like what I'm so happy is that the parent reach out to me too. It's like, hey, my kid want to train and this and that. So now MMA is a big thing in Myanmar too now. So that is just like, cause first, you know, the Asian parents, man, they don't like fighting and stuff like that. So when we tell them we do MMA, they're like, oh my God, it's too aggressive, da da da. You know, now that they see the business side and you know the good side, that's a good thing.
something definitely to look up to. What a great example you are. I know you just got out. You want to celebrate this one, but we obviously have to talk about what's next. Pantoja was in the building tonight. Is that the person that you want to face next?
Yeah, for sure. You know, Pantoja, I thought it was going to be Pantoja, but like I said, I wasn't going to wait for him, you know, for forever. So, you know, now they gave me Tatsuro and we got it done. So now Pantoja turn.
Yeah, if that is the one that's next, I think a lot of people will be excited for that one whenever it happens. Joshua, congratulations.
Thank you. Hey, what's up, guys? Let's go.
Josh, from here. Congratulations on the victory and the first title defense. I guess just physically, emotionally, how you feeling after your first successful title defense?
I feel great, man. It feels great. I think that was a great fight for the fans. But the only thing is that I told you guys I was going to finish him inside 3 rounds. And, Tatsuro is a tough guy, man. Nothing but respect to him.
Did you think you were close to getting him out of there in the first 3 rounds? It looked like you were pretty putting it on him, especially in the early round.
I think the first time I dropped him, I woke him back up. And then the second time, I don't know how he got up. But like I said, man, he's tough. And I was trying to submit him, but, he's good, man. He's good.
Obviously, especially in the countdown and immediate day, he said, he would have the advantage on the ground. You obviously survived his grappling in there. So was it did he excel in that, or was he as strong as that as you expected, or do you have a lot of tricks in there that maybe you had to work on the fly?
Like I said, man, I told you guys, I got ground in my sleeve. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things I want to do, but you know what I mean, that I can't do. But you know what I mean. We show our ground a little bit here and there, but next time we get better for sure.
Were you surprised that he didn't go down earlier? Because I think it was especially in the second and third round, he wasn't moving his head at all. You just kept blasting him in the nose, and he kept coming forward. Yeah,
man. One thing about him is that he know how to go back, or and things like that. So it was a little harder for me to find my timings and my distance because he keep going backward and things like that. So that's what kind of saved him.
Did his leg kicks play any factor at all? It seemed like he was throwing that a lot in the early rounds.
Nah, the last one he threw, that shit hurt. But other than that, man, the first 2 rounds, it wasn't a hard one. But the last one, I think he landed. I think he hit my nerve or something. Yeah.
I was listening to one of your interviews over there, or Pantoja's interview, and Dana White confirms that he's probably next for you. Pantoja seems to want to make this a 5-round, wants to drag it 5 rounds to make it painful for you. And I think I heard your response was he better go drink some milk. Is that correct?
Yes. He better go get some milk, man.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Just right here. How this win feels comparatively at the one against Pantoja? Because of the way you finished the fight, does it feel better, or for you a win is a win, a belt is a belt?
Yeah, man, a win is a win, but this one is so much sweeter. Just because the Pantoja fight, man, nobody, I would want to wish on my worst enemy. You know what I mean? So this is so much sweeter for sure.
But you felt bad after Pantoja win with the criticize of the fans?
Yeah, man, I feel bad. I told him, I walk up to him, because when I was celebrating, I didn't know his arm was like that, And after I saw his arm on the screen, I walk up to him, I say sorry. He said sorry, this and that, and then next thing you know, he waited 3 months, and then he came and do a little interviews. His panocha hurt, so he's saying a lot of shit now. So I don't know what's up with him, man. I saw him yesterday. There's no hate for me. You know what I mean? I talked to him. I shake his hand, but I don't know what he got in his head, man.
Last one for me. Can we see you one day in bantamweight division? I know it's early for you. You got still to do in flyweight, but is it one of your goals to go up one day?
Yes and no, because I wanna accomplish more in my division. A lot of people, when they win the belt, they just want to go up and things like that. But I want to make history because a lot of people don't know flyweight like that. You know what I mean? Now we're just popping up. So I want to do great thing in flyweight division.
Do you want to break the records of Mighty Mouse?
Record is record, man. I think, that was old time. Now it's the new generation of fighting. So I think it's a little different now. Yeah.
Congrats.
Josh, how important was it for you to stay behind your jab, stay patient, and then eventually find that finish in the 5th round after going for the submission attempts in the 3rd?
Man, patience was the key, man. All my coaches, even the training camp, man. Seeing my fight got moved, I was irritated. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to hurt people or something, man. And my coaches, they telling me to stop hurting my training partners and things like that. The whole camp, man, they was telling me be patient, stay calm and this and that, and that's what you guys see.
I know earlier in the year you were going back and forth on Twitter with Manel Kape and calling for him on the Houston card that happened earlier this year. In the future, could you see yourself headlining a Houston pay-per-view?
For sure. That's the goal, right? Houston is what raised me. I was born in Myanmar, but Houston raised me. So I do want to. I do see Houston as my own city, so I do want to headline in Houston.
And building off that, what message do you have to your fans from Houston as you sent a message in your walk-off to your fans in Myanmar? What message do you have to them?
Man, like I said, man, the world will know of us, the people of Myanmar. And Houston, Texas, man, we got a UFC champion now.
713, baby.
Let's go.
Josh, right over here. You dropped him a bunch of times throughout the fight. Were you surprised that he was able to keep getting back up and even was able to take you down after that?
Yeah, he's tough, man. He's tough. Like I said, nothing but respect to the kid.
We've seen champions slow down before with activity, but that doesn't seem like it's going to be the case for you. When do you think we can see you back in the octagon next?
I don't know. I got to talk to my team, see what's up. And like I said, maybe heal up a little bit and things like that. So at least one more by the end of this year.
Do you feel like this fight, and Tyra specifically, might have brought out the best version of Joshua Van we've seen so far?
Yeah, I always, I don't look at, a certain fight as a bigger fight or things like that, you know what I mean? The fight that I have in front of me is always going to be the biggest fight for me, so this is the biggest fight.
Before the fight, we talked about how you said, the hate and the fans in your comment section and whatever. You like the hate because it kind of kept your name relevant. What do you think the fans are going to say about this fight?
I think they're loving it, man. I think they're loving it. Hopefully.
Thank you.
Sir.
Josh, over here. So we were talking before the fight about, you guys combined for 50 years old. It was the youngest championship fight.
Yeah.
25 years. I asked you if you thought that maybe you guys would be fighting again down the road someday because you guys are so young. Now that you've actually been in the cage with him, do you feel like he has what it takes to kind of be able to fight back up the mountain and give you a rematch or get a rematch with you?
For sure. Tatsuro is a well-rounded guy. And he got nothing but respect from me, man. He's a tough kid.
Now, you got a fight of the night bonus on this one. You must have heard that right now, right?
Yeah. I heard it.
So and so obviously this is coming off of a fight of the year last year. Amazing fight that you had with Brandon Royval. Mm-hmm. Do you see kind of your ticket maybe to getting a higher profile as just being that action fighter, the guy who just brings home the bonuses?
Yeah, man. All my fight, you ain't never see a boring Joshua Van fight. You know what I mean? So now that I get to fight on the higher level, right? Coleman and things like that. So now a lot more people get to see me now. So it's a blessing.
You're kind of a laid-back guy,
Yeah.
It seems like you almost like to just kind of chill most of the time. But when you're up here, you getting more comfortable with these media interactions?
Yeah, for sure, man. It get a lot easier, for sure. Yes.
Thank you.
Joshua, you have won all your fights against Japanese fighters in the UFC. What do you think it will take for a Japanese fighter to become champion?
What would Japanese fighter just train hard, man. I think just train hard. The two fighters that I fought, the Japanese guys, man, they got heart. So I think the main thing is just to train hard. Yes.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Van, after the fight, one of the first things you spoke about was your faith and how important that is to you. how does your spirituality keep you centered, you know, as opportunities and just success continues to grow?
Man, my faith is everything. You know, without Jesus Christ, man, I won't be nothing. You know what I mean? So it's always to give glory to Him, and you know, like I said, my faith is everything.
How has your faith, you know, changed the way you define success outside of the octagon as well?
My faith, it kept me humble in a way. You know, like I said, I'm not the perfect Christians, or you know, I'm not the perfect believer, but it always lead me back to Him. You know, to Christ. So it helped me in a lot of ways, for sure.
Josh Orr here. I think tonight showed you were exactly as well-rounded as you've been saying all week that you are. Your improvements being like incredible to watch. I guess how much higher is the ceiling for you? How much further do you think you can go as far as evolving your skill set?
Man, I'm definitely